fellowship. Okay, so I'm gonna read it from the Message Bible, so it's kind of long from here. But it says, the title of it says, "Don't believe everything you hear." My dear friends, don't believe everything you hear. Carefully weigh and examine what people tell you. Not everyone who talks about God comes from God. There are a lot of lying preachers loose in the world. Here's how you test for the genuine spirit of God. Everyone who confesses openly his faith in Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who came as an actual flesh and blood person, comes from God and belongs to God. And everyone who refuses to confess faith in Jesus has nothing in common with God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist that you heard was coming. Well, here it is sooner than we thought. My dear children, you come from God. My dear children, you come from God and belong to God. You have already won, y'all, and then the sign sheet right there, because I think you the only one that did the sign. For the spirit in you is far stronger than anything in the world. These people belong to the Christ-denying world. They talk the world's language, and the world eats it up. But we come from God and belong to God. Anyone who knows God understands us and listens. The person who has nothing to do with God will, of course, not listen to us. This is another test for telling the spirit of truth from the spirit of deception. I read it. So
you're saying that everybody...
one thing, this is true, because one thing I know is a stereotype for us church people, and the reason why we have a stereotype is because a lot of people be like, oh, well, pastors got all this money. You know, you hear stuff like that, and why should I give my money to the church? When you do got some people who are doing wrong, like they do they abuse their role, and they misuse it to a point to where people don't want to come to church, so that they tell you about God, but they really trying to use it for their own benefit. If somebody trying to use something for their own benefit and not for the glory of God, then that's not really of God and for God. Those kind of people.
Like cults.
Cults.
Yes. Everything they say is in the name of God. And they be doing
A message has been received.
But they drop the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, what's his name?
Jim Jones.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, somebody had asked me, they was like, but didn't they believe in God? I'm like, no.
I mean, they believed in him more and they believe what he said about.
Yeah, and he trying to portray himself as this God-fearing and God-loving man. So y'all need to follow me. I'm y'all leader because I'm closer. He had to think that he was closer to God and stuff like that. So they was sheep, and then they died.
Got 900 people. That's the biggest mass suicide I ever heard of. Like American.
So that's why we have to read the Bible for ourselves to
get
an understanding.
Test the spirit by the spirit. Yeah. Okay, so John wrote to address a situation in a local church where some people had departed the fellowship, which is in 2:19. Apparently, their views conflicted with those of the church. Some in the New Testament church denied that Jesus was human from their perspective. Jesus had a human form for a time, but the divine Christ departed from the earthly Jesus before the crucifixion. John insisted that Christ had come in flesh, which is one of our first key words.
He had a what?
He came in flesh, like come in flesh. And it was one of our key words. When it says come in flesh, he became human, basically.
Yeah.
And it says, read Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. Okay. I'll pull it up.
Hebrews 2.
Yeah, chapter 2, verse 14.
Hebrews chapter 14, verse 2, chapter 14. Since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity, so that by his death he might break the power of him who holds the power of death, that is the devil.
Okay, so keeping that in mind, it says, how does this verse help you understand that Jesus was human, that he was flesh, as well as the Son of God?
You have to read that one more time.
Is the question or this? I got it says, since the children are shares in flesh and blood, he also himself in like manner partook of the same, that through Death he might bring to not him that had the power of death, that is the devil. But basically he's saying, I think we talked about this last time in Bible study. We are of flesh and blood. And then Jesus Christ is like, I call him like our brother and stuff because he was born the same way we was born. So that's basically what that means. And then he's saying, how does this verse help us understand that Jesus was human or flesh as well as the Son of God? We should just ask him the same two questions over again. I think they put the Son of God because a lot of people was confused on how can the Son of God be human. I think that's what they was confused on.
Like how you like this
Yeah.
great
Because
I am.
yeah, because if y'all know the Jews, like they say now today, they don't believe that Jesus Christ, the one we believe in, is Jesus because they was like, how he coming? He's not supposed to be in flesh. Because they like, if he's of God, then how he's flesh? You know, because they think that if he like us, then they like, that ain't nothing. That ain't got no power to it. That ain't nothing.
But it leads you to wonder, like, if you are a human, who are you to question what a God can do?
See, but I
You
don't know they
human,
think
so you can't tell God he can't be flesh or
yeah.
come as
See, but
flesh.
that's
You
how
have
they
no.
thought. Yeah, that's how they thought. So basically, I think that's what their question says. Like, how do we know that Jesus was human, basically flesh, as well as the Son of God, being the Son of God as well?
Mm.
So they was trying to confuse people.
Well, at first he did walk the earth, right?
Mhm.
He did walk the earth just like us.
Well,
And he had to go through all the trials and situations that we went to Jesus.
Jesus.
oh,
And then so it says, John cautioned us to not automatically believe anyone who comes to the church to preach or teach, which is true. We are to listen carefully to their treatment of Jesus. John was aware of people speaking by the power of spirits other than the Holy Spirit. Apparently, false prophets in the church at Ephesus were denying that Jesus is fully human and fully divine. John provided a test by which believers could distinguish between true and false teachers in verses 2 to 3, which is from 1 John chapter 4, verse 2 to 3. It says, read. Complete the following. Spirit that confesses Jesus has to come in the flesh is from God. Spirit that does not confess is, Jesus is, I think this is Antichrist. Yeah, hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ, is come in the flesh is of God. And then, and every spirit that confesses not Jesus is not of God. And that is the spirit of the Antichrist. Yeah, so that's what we read in the first.
So if you knew person coming into church not familiar with God, how you know if this person is an antichrist or not? How you
You said
determine?
if you knew coming to the church.
Yeah, if you're not used to coming to church, you decide to come. How
I
do you
mean,
know
that's
if
like the people that's already at the church. Most of the newness. You talking about if we know who that is, right? I mean, that ain't for you to decide. I don't think. You better be doing what you supposed to do.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying when it said that you're
Like if they don't confess, basically if you got
like false
Satanists.
prophets, then you have false prophets.
Yeah, but you
You're
got-
not gonna know like
You
that,
wanna know
though.
the closest person to being an antichrist is?
Satanists.
I'm talking about Trump.
Oh, we don't know that man.
Video. We not talking about that.
We
We
don't
ain't
know
talking
that
about that.
man relationship with Jesus.
We ain't.
If they're
Because I don't think he
they're-
know we're closer to the Antichrist. Because if he was the Antichrist, we'd be going through super hell right now. And we ain't going.
No.
But my whole thing
We
is,
not going through nothing yet.
but the hell that we experience ain't his fault. It's our own
It
people's, mamas, daddies, brothers,
Right.
sisters,
And they don't
cousins, our
understand
neighbor.
it. Exactly.
It's not, it ain't even him. And a lot of the decisions that he's made for the country haven't affected none of us directly.
Not yet.
I mean,
You never
now if you
too much
invested,
credit.
your pocket's looking pretty
Mhm.
good, but other than that, it ain't been no bad effect. So, I mean, you just got an attitude for whatever.
Dang, y'all, y'all talking about See, as you touch her up. But I think Antichrist is the people who will say they will not say they believe in God. They will not say they believe in Jesus. You can't get them to say they believe in a higher power. You can't get them to believe they saying none of that, none of that. You will hear them talking about the devil, talking about they love the devil, some stuff like that, say blah, 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 blah.
But even if you believe in Satan, that's still a form of higher power to you.
Yeah, but it's all for
Just a
negative. Yeah, see, I don't know. People just don't think. They don't think.
They don't think things through.
They don't think.
They just want to be extra.
Because if they think things through, I don't think they would be.
If anything, you should just better be out being neutral. Believe in like what's the science version?
Scientology. Yeah, Scientology.
Not necessarily science, just the science of we was created from atoms that bump together.
Oh,
And,
no, wait a minute. That's not, no.
All
Y'all
of
getting
them
this
different
confused. Science and Scientology is two different things.
That's why I said not Scientology, because I don't know Scientology at all. I'm just saying science,
Scientology
what
is-
they teach in school on how people were made.
Oh,
You'll be better off just being
evolution,
neutral.
cells,
Yeah,
evolution.
evolution. You'll be better off just being neutral, not going heaven or hell, just neutral.
Came from a bomb.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
Floating
At
in
the
there.
end of the day, that's what's
My
going
mom
on.
wouldn't let me take that class.
What?
Evolution, when they taught it in school.
All right.
That's not correct.
She won't let you take it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perspective.
ain't
I think
get a
everything's a perspective.
Yeah.
I ain't
to
get a
be
chance to
honest.
take that class.
But you was just trying to figure out how somebody knew if somebody who came to church, how they would know it was an antichrist. That's basically asking like how you know that I wouldn't have good intentions for you. I feel like by studying the word and stuff like that, and me saying I'm a follower of Christ or whatever like that, by my actions that I have shown you, I feel like God will show you if I'm really about Him or not, or if I'm really that person that's supposed to be, in your life, because He put me there or something like that. I think a discerning spirit, that's what it is. That's what it's called.
Spirit of truth.
Yeah, that's what it is.
In 1 John 4:2-8 at the beginning, it talks about what defines the Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
What page is that?
The first page.
39?
39.
Yeah, we read them, the key words.
Oh yeah, see,
So
yeah,
that's what defines-
Antichrist is a particular individual or a group of people who oppose of God and His purpose. In the New Testament, human teachers who had left the church. Basically, some people who will say like, I don't believe in Jesus Christ, or I don't believe in His teachings, I don't believe that He made us, I don't believe in none of that. Those are the people who we would consider people who are opposing against God's word. Yeah, I mean, because I think when we hear the word Antichrist, we think of like the devil or something like that, or the devil child or something like that. So I think that's why sometimes we can't really think about the other people.
But it's like anti is against, so against
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's Christ.
And then so John specifically refers to the Antichrist in verse 3, which we went back to because you pointed that out, thank you. The only use of the term Antichrist in the New Testament is in John's epistle. Such Antichrist denied the incarnation, which is in 1 John chapter 4-3, and Christ's deity, 1 John chapter 2 verse 2, and in 2 John 7. The Antichrists are identified as deceivers who teach that Jesus Christ did not come in the flesh. Along with the cautions against false preachers and teachers, John told his readers how to identify true teaching. This text was specifically set up for this situation. Does the teacher accept Jesus' full humanity and full deity? If not, his entire teaching is to be rejected. Confession of the truth about the Son is a condition for a genuine relationship with God the Father. Based on 1 John chapter 4, verses 2-3 and verses 15, how would you help someone know whether teaching was in line with biblical principles? Basically, how would you help somebody learn what somebody's teaching them biblically, what somebody's teaching them about God was right biblically?
They're gonna have to read themselves.
So you would tell them that they have to read the word they
Yeah, if somebody tell you something.
And compare it.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
read.
yeah,
Go
because
look
that's
that
something
up.
Pastor taught us. Yeah, he said that.
Go look it up for yourself.
Got any other ways?
Google it.
No, because Google they put some on stuff.
Bible study.
Yeah, Bible study.
somebody you trust. Like such and such said.
Outside.
Like we always call my grandma, and she
You know-
always knows scripture instantly about
Journey
anything
just
like
gonna be
grandma. Yeah. She like instant Google.
Yeah.
She know about 3-4 scriptures, then she'll text me later.
I found another one for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look this up, and you better read it.
What you had said, dude? Got one?
You got one to
And
this?
she took the Bible study and then said going to church, talking to somebody you trust that knows the Lord.
Wait, I forgot. This says, how would you help somebody, letting them know that somebody else's teaching lined up to God's word? So y'all would refer them to somebody else
Yeah, my
that
grandma.
you think is wise.
Let me give you my grandma. No, she
So
just
like
happy to
almost like
talk
that
to you.
little teacher that pastor that teaches.
Or even like, you know, when pastors do the sermons, we take notes and things like that.
Mm.
And like slide on the notes and like we can prepare.
Yeah,
Okay.
go look it up.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to look it up themselves.
Yeah, either way,
that's the
yeah,
main
either
one.
way.
Number one is to look it up. Okay.
Yep.
So it says recognize truth. Wanna read this one?
Recognize truth, 1 John 4 chapter 4 through 6 verse. We are bombarded with messages. Think about the ways you receive information. Sometimes reports from all these sources conflict. How do you know which information is true? How do you determine what is true?
And then you gotta pray about it. So,
Yes, you do.
because even after you read it, maybe you
You
still
still don't
need
have
a
any
little
understanding,
clarification.
And I think that's because I remember I was being in the class taught on discipline, celebration of discipline. Basically, I think that's a book for all of us being disciples of Christ, because one thing you have to, the first thing you're supposed to do as Christ followers is to meditate. When you think about meditate, what y'all think about? Like clearing your mind.
Yep.
Sit
Sit
in
down.
silence. Yeah, sit
Yep.
in silence.
But-
Legs crossed.
Sing with the Lord.
This-
Everything.
But you know, y'all know
Relaxation.
what?
I think of yoga.
But that's the wrong way.
No TV.
That's the wrong way.
The beach. I think of the beach.
It's the wrong way. I found that out. To meditate is to, especially on God's word. Yep.
Yeah.
To focus. So, like, if you're reading a verse or something and you feel like there's something God told you to go to, by meditating on it, you will pray on it, and then I know I was taught to ask God, okay, what is in here that I need to apply to my life, or what is in here that I need to help somebody else figure out, understand in their life with. It's the who, what, and why, or who, what, and where. Who, what, where, why. Yeah. So it takes more
I'm
than
here. What did I miss?
You sound
Like you
Oh, yeah, I
running
saw
across
it.
somebody.
I don't have a chair.
sit
Oh,
on
yeah.
Around here, bro.
Come on in here, child.
We paused the
Yeah.
video. I'm sorry, y'all. With nobody's shoes.
All right, what?
But it's the who, where, why, and what, and it takes. I was taught it takes more than sometimes a day to meditate on God's word to really see what He's saying to you. Sometimes it takes weeks and stuff like that, and yeah, that's the true definition of meditation. Instead of just clearing your mind.
So just say for
But
instance,
you
if
clear
you're
your mind
trying,
and be focused.
No, we are taught the human way of meditating. Meditating like, oh, I'm about to go woosah, clear
Like
my
Buddha?
mind.
but that's not the way.
Like
to
Buddha?
You said like, see now they meditate. I don't think they clear their mind, but I think that's the way you're supposed to meditate. Like they focus. So they do something like the way I'm talking about. Instead of just saying, oh, we about to meditate, I'm about to clear my mind. I'm just about not thinking about nothing. That's not how we're supposed to meditate. Especially if you're gonna meditate on God's word. Because why you gonna clear your mind?
No, I'm saying most people, that's why when most people do meditate, that's what they're focusing on what. That's why they do it in silence, because the other stuff is distraction.
Distraction.
So
Oh,
you do it
yeah.
in silence so you can focus on what you're trying to focus on, whether it be God or whatever.
Well,
or
in the-
focusing on this law. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The law, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you meditate and then you sit back and then you don't really think about nothing else except for like the laws that he gave you. And then I guess you try and it helps you, I guess, decipher it better.
You said it what?
It helps you like decipher it better, like,
Yeah, that's the reason for meditating. It helps you, like you saying, we can pray and then meditate on something. We can ask him a question. And you feel like he giving you something or a word or something like that, you have to sit there and meditate on it because it helps you to make a better decision for anywhere or any role you want to take in life, any situation. So,
Because sometimes when you make that quick decision, we make the wrong decision.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just go
And
like,
it
I want to do this,
messes
and we
us
just
up
do
a
it,
lot.
versus thinking about it.
Okay, so.
So we're going to read the spirit of truth and the spirit of deception. John frequently uses the word truth in his writings, referring to reality in contrast to falsehood. In 1 John 4:6, he describes the spirit of truth and the spirit of deception. The spirit of truth is from God. It comes in the form of the Holy Spirit inside Christians, helping us discern truth. The spirit of deception is from the world. It appeals to the world and to people who do not listen to the things of God. It is more attractive and believable to non-Christians than the truth of the gospel message. So one more time, the spirit of truth is from God. It's the Holy Spirit. And the spirit of deception is from the world. It appeals to the world and people who do not listen to the things of God. Okay. So how do you know what is true?
Well, if it don't, if it
Nah,
doesn't
ain't no
cause you
just-
stress, like you say, if it's not deceptive, if it don't hurt, like you say, God is not a pain, it's not a fear, you know what I'm saying, it's done out of love and kindness, and it's for your benefit or for your good.
Second Timothy chapter 2, verses.
So everybody else, how do you know this?
It says, okay, so how do you know what is true?
so how you know what? By evidence.
You said by what?
Evidence.
Okay, and what's the evidence? What would the evidence be?
For what?
You said by evidence, what evidence?
Yeah, we talk about the spirit of truth.
Oh, you
God.
said the spirit of truth. Oh, I thought you were just asking like a general question. But the evidence
Okay, let me just read this to y'all, because Pastor John works like He said, I am watching live, so hey, what's up?
what's up?
We gonna fight, because I don't, yeah. Okay, it says, so how do you know what is true? He said you have to study. Every scripture has a supporting scripture. That's why 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, verse 15 says, study to show thyself approved. When you study in your heart, you will know the truth. That's why you always have to Bible study. Because like we always say, you have to put something in to be able to have something to take out. If you don't put nothing in to take out, then you're going to be empty. And you're going to be able to be tossed like a piece of paper in the wind and go here and there, not being stable or anchored. So, yeah.
The more your relationship grows, the more you can determine and discern truth from deception, spiritually speaking.
Yeah, because I feel like he won't let you go down. Well, from experience myself, I know if I ask God something, it could be simple questions. Well, if this for me, if this not for me, should I do this, do that? I know he will answer. It might not be that same exact day, but I know sooner or later he'll answer, and he'll probably be like, show me something, show me signs or something, or he'll probably be like, nah, you don't need it. It ain't. So, and you can get confirmation from different people that probably talk to you and stuff like that. So, because he'll send it to people, or he can just show you signs by doing little stuff. And you make him answer your own stuff when you're talking out loud.
I think a lot of times we don't see the truth because of the distractions
That's
of the
true.
world. So there are a lot of signs that come around and you still don't see them.
walking
Because
blind.
you're not focused,
Yep,
you're not aligned,
yep.
and you're going through the world with the world's views.
Mhm.
So I think those things can become distractions on what God is trying to tell you. So when you're in that growing and development stage, it's really important to meditate, to stay focused, to read His Word,
Yep.
things like that.
And a lot of times the answer is not the answer we want.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah.
But see, wait.
That's a good one, yeah.
Put the camera up, like, say it again, Tika.
A lot of times the answer we want.
We want, not the answer we want.
And why do you think that?
Because we asking God for something in
That we
particular.
want.
We asking Him for what we want.
But we not getting
But
it.
like you
It may
said,
not
it's
be what you need.
God
it's
be
not-
like, nah.
Sometimes we're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
Or it just might not be something you don't need all the time.
Exactly.
Well, sometimes there are stairs that you have to climb, and there's a lesson on each step.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
feel like
And if
God
you-
is loving. He most of the time He would, even if it's something that you ask for that you don't necessarily really need, even if it's just something that you want, I feel like He gonna still give it to you just to show you.
Negative.
I feel
No.
honestly,
Now
I feel
it's
like-
not beneficial.
because He's all loving. He's
No,
done
let me
he's
tell
done
you
a lot
why.
of stuff for
But-
me. And
But wait, let me tell you why.
that it was something that I wanted, but it necessarily wasn't for me. But He
But
allowed
I'm
me to
waiting.
experience a certain thing,
But
so I go
look,
through a certain experience,
That's
so I
your
can learn
choice, though,
something.
Tyler.
They was
Yeah, but
not
you learn something out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This-
saying.
this-
But he
that's-
still
that's
gave it
the
to me so I
enemy.
can learn something from it, so I can experience from it.
But that's why you should say the thing about the gift.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. This the thing. I told you this many times before. You have to have a discerning spirit. You have to ask God to help you be wise and watch your path and watch the people that come around you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, God is not gonna give you what you
Hold on,
want.
what exactly are we speaking on?
We speaking on the whole, like what we talking about. What you asking?
No, I'm saying, I'm asking you, what exactly are we speaking on? Because
How
I
do
feel
you know
got
the
ADHD,
truth? And
bruh.
then Tika said sometimes we want. What you say, Tika?
Never mind, she didn't say it, she didn't say it.
No, she's talking about the thing she
See,
said
we-
about.
Yeah, what did you say, Tika?
sometimes we don't get what we want. When we
Yeah,
ask God for something.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not exactly what we need.
yeah,
Well,
you
some-
keep asking for it, he gonna
asking
give
for
it to
what we
No,
want,
not.
we're probably.
Well, you have God's will and you have His permissive
But I
will.
told-
You
yeah,
have
you
His
have a
grace and
choice
His
to make.
mercy as well.
Yeah,
Hey, you keep asking, why please?
and I told
Like
you.
keep asking your mama for something.
you. And what she do?
And
What
she
your mom?
got-
What
No,
was
Don't give it to
It
them.
depends on your mama, but mine, she said,
my
no,
mama
it's a
probably
wrap.
gave it to me though.
Oh, no,
Let me
not
tell
mine.
you, since God is a strict God, He's not gonna give you something that you want because it's not something you need. Why would I give you something you want but you don't need it? That's gonna hurt you and damage you more. And it's gonna turn you away from God and gonna knock you off the path that you're supposed to be going, that He wants you to go.
Just like a lot of the stuff that we have in
No.
our everyday life, we don't need it.
But
We don't need it,
but
but we
it's
want it,
our
we
choice
get
to make that choice though. That's free will. I told you
But
this.
then you
So
know,
is
You
that
can't
wrong with
act
it?
blind. Yes, it is something wrong in that. You know
But
what that
everything
becomes.
We ain't really need is clothes.
No, but you know what that
deodorant,
becomes? That
soap.
becomes you being ignorant. That's what happens. You start being ignorant.
All you need
If
is
you
clothes
already
and
know
deodorant.
it's about the choices that you made, and you saying that it don't matter, it does matter. And then you talking about if God gave it to you, He didn't give it to you. It's about free will and what we do. We have to take responsibility for the choices that we make because of what we want to do. Not because God like, oh, you can have it, I put it in front of you. No, we got to stop doing that because a lot of us blame God and a lot of us do that and say, well, God, you gave it to me or you put it in front of me or whatever like that when that's not the case. No, Diana, you made that choice because you wanted it. Diana, you did this because you wanted to do it. It ain't because of God. It's not.
But that was your choice to look at it and blame him instead of thanking him.
No, I never said I blamed him. I said that's what a lot of people do.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's like they free will. That's what most people do instead of blaming.
Yeah.
You should
So
look at
when
it
you
the
just
positive way.
said, and I'm just being harshly honest, when you just said you feel like God gives you what you want even if you don't need it, that's not true. That's not true.
I ain't.
It's not true. I understand that's your own perspective, but it's not true. And I'm just giving
I'm
you.
like, what you asked for?
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah,
It's not true.
Okay, look. We got asked for it. Look, you working on the blessings. What you got going on?
You got favor.
Okay, so good favor.
Most of my blessings ain't about material. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it's something that's within. I feel most of the time if I ask for something that's within, he gonna give it to me.
Yeah, see, now, stuff like
he
that.
gonna make sure that I stand out on top. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that is what he
Now,
here
if
for.
it's
And
something-
he ask him. He asks you to, he tell you to ask him for certain things.
Ask and
So
shall
you got the
receive.
right to do that, and you shall receive. So you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying like, oh God, I want this big old man, and he just throw it in my face. No, I'm not talking about like that. I'm just
No,
talking
if it
about like all
benefits you,
around.
like what you just said, if it benefits you, all that stuff's not gonna benefit you, then yes.
But that's why they
Yes.
always say, be careful what you pray for.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because you can
What
pray
you
for
wish for?
things,
'Cause I'm a
but
handful
they
of
might not necessarily be good for you.
So she gonna ask her minister.
And you
But if
feel
you,
Sure.
but if you pray for the
As I
wrong
should.
thing, then it's gonna be like, all right, you got it, but it's not right for you. But I'm gonna let you go through this, so you be like, nah, this
Is that
ain't
what you thought you wanted?
yeah, this is not what you thought you wanted.
But I just say it's all lesson learned. Like I said, ain't no losses, it's L's, it's lesson learned. Because you learn from it, you learn from what you want and what you don't want, and you learn how to approach something. If you come across something that same situation, you know how to approach it different. And you know how to walk away from certain things, and you know how to say danger zone and stuff like that, and go on about your business. But it's just all lessons learned. But if it's beneficial to you in a good way, I feel like God will give it to you. If you want it, it's beneficial in a good way. If it's not, then yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, so I put because the title of this, Pastor John Ward said he wanted to ask, how do I fulfill God's purpose for my life? So how do each one of you guys fulfill or trying to fulfill God's purpose in your life or for your life right now? Who want to go first?
My hand is not.
You can
Going,
repeat that.
working according to his what he like, you know what I'm saying, according to his purpose, or asking what he first. You gotta ask him, you know what I'm saying, if you're not quite understanding or what his will for your life is, and living about the basic rules he set for everybody.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really help if you do the things and his commandments and all of that.
Mhm.
And you know, just try not to keep the low drama out your life,
Yes.
and you know, stay on track. Yeah,
Evangelize.
yeah.
What if you went into drama at church?
Huh?
That's
I
all
went
it
into some drama
always.
at church.
I mean, the drama is
You turn and you walk the other way. You turn the other cheek.
You got drama
No, you
in the
don't.
stove.
I mean, but anything,
No, you
especially at church, I think if we have disagreements here at church, we all should have a lot of solution. You know, so we should all be able to come to a solution about it. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna disagree on this and this. Well, let's see what can be the common ground.
Let's agree.
I think everybody
Yeah.
in a church setting who has accepted Christ and we working in His kingdom at the church, we should be able to
Come to-
come
We
to
should
an
have
agreement.
a mindset to understand what
Exactly.
we
We
should
shouldn't
solve.
really be mad at each other or
Exactly.
because we're disagreeing.
Exactly.
All we have to do is talk to one another. We should be able to come to a resolution on whatever the case may be.
That would be, that would be ideal.
That's the
And it should be.
It's like, that's like wishful thinking.
But it should be if we all in here together.
I agree
and
with
we
what
talking about
you're
we gonna get
saying.
together
Like you said, she
and
said it's
evangelize or go
It's
spread
wishful
the
thinking
word
because
and
it's
increase
not
our
applied
numbers
like
at the church.
But
I mean,
it
if we
should
can't
be
even get
though.
along with
That's
each
what
other,
I'm saying.
that's
I'm
already
not
here.
saying, I'm not
But
saying I
Exactly. What makes
disagree.
you think some new folks gonna
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
What?
No, I'm saying it should
Yeah,
be like
it
that.
should.
But in reality, it's wishful thinking.
What we have to understand
But
is
why
people
we
are
have-
at different levels
Yeah.
of their walk. And so some people may not have been delivered from certain things where other people may have, and that's why we are to be our brother's keepers and help them where they fall or where they fall.
What you talking about with people inside the church?
Yeah.
I feel like
People from the church
I feel
as well,
like that's an issue. Instead of a lot of people coming together to
What?
help a certain person get through what they got to go through, they'll rather talk about them and shun them for behind their back though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what starts a lot of drama
Well,
inside the church.
We have to understand that the church is a hospital full of sick people. Everybody's here for a reason. Everybody's not saved or delivered from everything. So there are going to be issues within the church
think-
body in general.
Yeah, people
Because
come
Not
to
we're
like
all-
the
that.
church.
But not like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Not,
but
like, not those kind of issues.
No, let me tell you about
I'd rather go have Bible
Let me
study
tell
in
you
church out on the
why.
street than if it's
But
like
you
that in
could
my
do
church.
that though, you see what I'm saying?
But you
And
might
church
run
is
into
not-
another
run into another
Now,
church.
let me just say,
That's
church
what I'm saying.
But church is just a temple for us to come into fellowship together and uplift each
And
other.
love each other,
together.
care about each other.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, just like you human and you do some messed up stuff, I do the exact same thing because I bleed just like you bleed. You see what I'm saying? That I'm not no different than you. I'm just trying to get my life right or get on the right path so I won't continue to act like that. So I won't continue to talk about people or drum and stuff like that. I'm trying to learn so I can teach you. See what I'm saying?
And that means when she does falter, say she starts going around,
You gotta
she's spreading
hold her
rumors
down.
and she's talking about people like she
Yeah.
said she's trying not to, that means you can't engage her in it. You have to say, you know,
Yeah.
Dana, we're not gonna talk about so and so like that. We're gonna, you know,
Well, let's change
deal
the
with
subject.
see?
Yeah, let's change the subject.
How often is
About
that?
that person.
How often is
So
that?
that way you gotta check yourself.
Yeah.
Right, so that's
Everybody
spirit of
gotta
deception.
self-reflect. Okay, then, am I
But
part of
it's
that?
not always talking about people either. It's a lot of other stuff that stirs up drama in the church.
Like I said,
Right, and I was
you
just
gotta
using that
check
as an
yourself.
example.
That's just one of them, you know what I'm saying? It is a lot of things.
Yeah, I just use that as an
It's a
example
lot.
because that's what you mentioned. So I just kind of picked off one of the things that you
Right.
mentioned.
Yeah,
If you
it's
did
a
X,
lot.
Y, and Z. So if we are to be accountable for each other, we do have to stand in that gap to say, okay, she's weak at this point right now. Let's try to help build her up because I'm
Exactly.
strong in that area right now.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly.
Notice I say right now.
Look, right now. I'm not saying tomorrow, like, I'm there like this.
Tomorrow I might need
Instead of
you.
tuning- Instead of tuning your nose up at with their weaknesses that you got strength at, instead of tuning your nose up like, oh, I'm better than them, like you said, help them out. You know what I'm saying? And care for them and try and pull them along the way so they can be just like you. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a weakness that they got and it's a strength that you have, it's a weakness that you have that they can help you out with.
That's why a lot of people in leadership have accountability partners
Yeah,
to
supposed to
help
have
them.
accountability.
Yeah,
Because they're
we
not
learned that
perfect.
in
They have to have
Southern
somebody to help keep them, you know, strengthen them where they're weak and help them out. So.
Y'all talking back, okay?
Okay, I put on here say God has numbered your days and will fulfill every purpose He has for you.
You say what?
God has numbered our days and will fulfill every purpose that He has for each and every last one of us. Yes.
I don't want to sound dumb like that, but what's the definition of fulfill? What you mean? What was that?
I think fulfill is like bring to a complete, basically. He will finish what He started. Have you ever heard somebody say God will finish I'll finish the work that I started in you, something like that? That's basically what they mean. God will finish the work that He started in you. So the work that He started in you, with you coming to visit, you know, the church and stuff like that. If you continue to seek out to Him, stuff like that, He's going to surely finish. That don't mean you're not going to go through anything. That's for all of us. That don't mean we're not going to go through anything or be blown out the road and stuff like
And
that.
he gonna finish with his plan that he had set for you from the beginning, right?
Right.
Yes, but we have to be willing to
allow
be
him
able
to
to,
let him.
acknowledge it and continue to just, like David, you got the story of David. David did some crazy stuff, okay? But David was still the apple of God's eye because he always went back to God and he always repented to God and was like, well, I know I made this mistake, but can you forgive me for this? And I'm sorry.
Like
And
his
when
dad.
he asked him to forgive him, he turned away from what he did. So when we get knocked off our course, we have to go back to God. We have to be like, all right, God. Like me, I was doing some crazy stuff years ago, whatever, and I was like, oh, God, I don't think I was supposed to be doing this. I already know He told me not to do this. I'm sorry, I'm fine. And I said sorry so many times, but this time I was really for real. I said sorry, and my actions changed because the honest apology and genuine apology you can get somebody is in your actions. You can tell me sorry all day. That's anybody. Like my mama said, you can talk me to death, but I want to see what you gonna do. Yeah, so that's how God is. But we follow whatever. But it says, however, our choices and actions also really matter. So that's what I just talked about. And then it says we can choose to do things that will bring us more joy and give us more of a sense of purpose, or we can choose things that probably make us depressed or confused and stuff like that, and have us lost and confused. Because a lot of us sometimes do walk around, a lot of people in the world, the only thing that's going on that I feel like is really wrong when people say they lost is that they don't have a sense of purpose in life. They don't know. A lot of people just want to feel that they matter. A lot of people just want to feel like they're loved and that they're important to somebody. And I think a lot of us, well, all of us feel like that. But our main goal and the main goal that I want to have is for y'all is to show young adults, like how you can show young adults like who may think like how you thought, stuff like that, and show them that we do care about you. Even if I don't know you, I still love you as my brother and sister in Christ. Because I know what God had for me, I know we can have for you, you know what I'm saying? And we can all get together and close as sisters and brothers through Jesus Christ and show them that they matter. So they can have some kind of sense of purpose and know that they can fight. Because a lot of people have suicidal thoughts. We can speak a word to their life to make them want to live or whatever like that. Instead of just speaking words, they can probably kill them spiritually, they kill them off for good. Then it says 6 ways to regain your purpose is to go in prayer. Tika and Tanisha and all y'all said that. Dig into God's word, basically reading his word, Bible study like what we doing now, or when we go home, read more and stuff like that. Determine your gifts and strengths. When you determine your gifts and strengths, you determine what you're good at doing. Tika, you really gifted in doing hair, you do good.
Right.
Then you good at drawing. Tanisha, you good at taking care of children. Tyler, you good at writing with little songs, stuff like that. Karen, you good at dance, like with the dance with the children. Bridget,
That ain't what I'm good at.
what
You
you
have
good
more, you
at?
have more things. Go ahead, tell them
That's
what
just
you're good
one
at.
gift.
Go ahead, tell them what you're good at.
Tyler, what you
What am
good
I
at?
good at?
Yeah. How you gonna answer it and say that ain't what you
That's
good
the hard
at?
part for y'all to figure out.
No. It's for you to figure out.
Well, I know it in my head, so
Okay, so say it.
Don't be scared.
don't let the left hand know what the right hand doing.
So you need to be the CIA.
Tyler, for real though, what is one of the gifts, if you don't want to say the gift that's in your head, what is one of the gifts that you're good at?
A gift that I have.
Yeah, that you're good at. It can be drawing, it can be rapping, oh, yeah. Making music,
Yeah.
Or just being charismatic. Like,
yeah.
You're good at helping others.
Oh, so you can be a negotiator.
Yeah, you know. So,
You never be good at finesse.
I don't know.
you have to get the gab, you know.
Yeah.
Give it a
I do got a
Like
gift
the
of
game.
gab though.
Like you can be able to use your words to convince people to do. But you have to
Okay.
be able to do that for the good, because some people use their gift of gab for bad.
No, but I feel like my gift, I feel like a gift that I feel like I do have, you know what I'm saying, is I feel like I don't know, me being always been like a cheerful spirit, definitely like with younger people. I don't know if that's a gift. I don't know what you title it.
Like, yeah, cause I got a best friend like that.
If you give me a chance, you gotta give me a chance. So I'm good with kids. So I feel like that's a gift that I have. Other than that, I don't really know what my purpose is or know what, you know what I'm saying? My
Well,
purpose
just
is.
say don't say I don't know. Just say I'm learning.
I don't know.
Just say I'm learning.
Well, a lot of people don't know
I
their
know,
purpose,
but
you know, a lot of people
you
still
know how
trying to
it
find
says
their
in the-
purpose, so
in
you're
the
not the
sermon?
only one, a lot of
Yeah.
people still trying to
Just say
find their
I'm
purpose.
fine.
Then
I'm
just
looking,
figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out what it is.
and that's okay.
Time.
Time.
Yep. It says determine your strengths. So you already determined some of the stuff that you good at. Determine your passion. Determining your passion, just determining where you would rather spend your time doing things, and it can be like that. And you stay drawn, no matter what. The teacher be taught, he be.
Picture of it.
He likes it, something he like to do.
Passionate.
Love drawing, you're passionate about drawing.
Okay, and it also say bring others into your life. Now, this is when we talk about coming into the church and fellowship and y'all's like the cookout,
The
stuff
cookout.
like that. That's bringing other people into your lives, or we getting into the lives of people in the community. We just uplifting them and just connecting with them, making a relationship and stuff like that. What's wrong?
You know how some people be like, man, if they ain't got no Coca-Cola on
Nah, I said we have a cookout.
something like that.
No, the heritage
Be
thing.
like, look,
Yeah.
you gonna drink
That's
whatever soda
but that
you
is
want.
it's gonna be food stuff.
Like cookout food for like
Yeah,
barbecue
it's
food.
gonna be
All that
heritage
heritage
thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm in charge of the food. It's gonna be great.
yeah.
Oh, what kind of food?
Tika got a bum.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
like
what?
fried. Yeah, you got
Sunday
Yeah,
dinner
wait, see,
type
Tika got a bomb list.
No, I'm not.
The
actually
lunch is
doing
right.
cooking, but I'm in charge of making sure it get done, and they're right.
Okay, so I'm gonna read Proverbs 11, verse 14. If y'all wanna mark that down, y'all can. Proverbs 11. So Proverbs 11, verse 14.
Hold on.
You said 14?
Yeah,
Proverbs
verse 11. So let me know when y'all all get there.
Chapter 11, verse
Chapter
14.
11.
Yeah.
You said 14?
Yeah, verse 14. Everybody's there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So it says, without good direction, people lose their way. And the more wise counsel you follow, the better your chances. That was talking, let me ask you that first part. Okay, so the first part of the scripture, which is part A. Without good direction, people lose their way. What is that saying to y'all?
It's like without a certain purpose or without knowing what they're supposed to do on a daily basis, they're gonna be deterred into a path.
You said without them knowing what they're supposed to do?
So if you don't follow
Thomas
the Bible,
version said something pretty good.
Can you read it, Tom?
Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety.
So that means everybody needs some good advice.
Yeah, or you need the right group
Without
of people
good
around.
direction.
Yeah, like Papa. He's somebody who's like a counselor. You could call and talk to him and stuff like that, and he give you good advice or whatever.
Like we have mentors.
Yeah, mentors. Oh yeah, because we did have mentors in the women's class. But what yours said?
Okay. Kind of say the same thing. Without good direction, people lose their way. The more wise counsel you follow, the better the chances.
Are we explaining that?
I
we
mean,
giving a chance?
what it means to you, yes. I was breaking down the first part, but I know each one of y'all had different verses, but I was just reading from the one I had when it says, without good direction, people lose their way. Basically, without the proper guidance or the right guidance, you will be confused and you will know which way to go or which direction to choose. Then it says, the more wise counsel you follow, the better your chances. So the more people around you that are more godly like or whatever, are choosing the choices and stuff like that, the more it says the better your chances, the more that you'll be able to be persuaded to be able to go in that God-like direction.
Kind of like, not even necessarily like, well, of course it's got to be godly people for them, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You to go in that direction, but kind of like how people say, like something that you really want to do, you got to surround yourself around those kind of people because it's better your chances. So
Or they say you got to surround yourself with people who are on a higher level than you, so because it'll motivate you to get there. So just like how I could be a newcomer in Christ or whatever, but if I see somebody who really I see into it and stuff like that, I'm gonna hang around y'all because it's gonna motivate me to want to get ready to really get to know Christ more because I'm seeing what He's doing with you. Or I'm like, oh, that's what's up. You know, you still in the world, but you're not of it. You know, and you following God, stuff like that.
So kind of go back to parenthood too, because it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying. If you're not giving good direction, raising a child is in the way that it should go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta give good direction. If you don't give no good direction, how some people, how some parents, you know what I'm saying, they're not really around, or fathers and stuff, they're not in their sons' lives and stuff. It could lead them in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's like you have to hang around people with like minds.
Mm-hmm.
So if say you were in the drug game, I was never, and you're trying to get out of it. You can't hang around those same people that's still selling drugs, still in the trap house, still doing all those things. You have to remove yourself and hang around people who are going in a different direction.
Out of your comfort zone.
And it may be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, but sometimes even if you still hang around these individuals, you still have your own mind frame. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just gonna, I'm just here.
It's that self.
You will have to remove yourself from that until you're strong enough, spiritual to impact someone else.
I feel like it's mainly the environment more than the people.
No, your environment is the people. That's what I mean by people.
Oh.
If you stealing something, and I'm stealing something, and you trying to change, I'm like, well, child, and I'm talking constantly to one of my friends and be like, man, we took this and that, That's gonna make you want to go back to your old ways. And you gotta get yourself off around me because I'm talking about something that you can't participate in no more. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
like the example Pastor used a few weeks ago about the weed. And I'm not smoking it. I'm just gonna hang around those smoking, getting a little contact high.
I could not hang around. I couldn't hang around nobody who smoked weed. Like when I tell you, I was not talking to none of my friends because all we ever did was smoke. Like I had to stop hanging around them to a point to where they started respecting me, and they did not smoke. They did not smoke around because they know it was like, first, well, she trying to change and God stuff like that. And that's something I thank God for giving me the friends I have. because they respected me and they didn't hinder me by continuing to do something around me that they know could make me fall. And they did it while I wasn't in plain sight. They didn't let me smell it on them, nothing. So.
Yeah, my brother was into that lifestyle with the whole gangs, and not gangs, but the whole drugs and all that.
Yeah.
And he kept saying he didn't want to be in that lifestyle because he's very smart and all
Yeah.
these things. He had kids at this time. He's married. He wants to get out of that life. Well, I'm like, well, you can't hang with the same people and in the same crew. And every time he get out, they drag him back in. Every time he has a little financial issue, oh, you know, bro, you know, we can go do X, Y, and Z. Let's go pick up this money so-and-so owe you.
That's the saying, you can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result.
Right.
You can't run around in no circle and expecting that you about to make a little way to get out, like a little erase of sin or something. Cause you ain't no way out. You keep, that's like people say cycle. Cycle's the same thing. You can't continue a cycle if you're gonna break out of it, like, if you don't try to do something different, if you don't get away from it. You can't get out of that circle if you're gonna try to get yourself outside that circle. You're gonna keep running in the circle.
But now,
Yeah, you can't do the same thing, expect a different result. And
once
that
you're
is the
strong enough,
definition of
If
sin.
you're strong enough.
once you're strong enough, you can go minister to those people. You can go and talk to, you know, and but if it's going to still be tempting to you,
You can't mess with it.
then that's a weakness that can be grabbed onto.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, y'all, so that was, yep. Getting out on time today, Pastor
Well,
Joe.
we probably got like five more minutes.
All right, come
Okay.
on.
1 minute.
I mean, well, okay, give you 5, what's up?
Okay, go ahead, let's
Oh
talk.
no, I just want 5 more minutes just so we can try and say
Okay,
talk about
so-
something else.
What could you guys learn from this lesson?
Well, learned.
Or what are you going to take away from it that you can apply to your life?
That's all you did.
Everybody.
Fellowship. Fellowship.
And how your fellowship ticket cook out?
Yeah, cook out. Yeah, just tea.
Fellowship, hold on.
He said yeah.
That was in the beginning, you might miss.
Oh, those like one of our 5 keywords. Okay, so let me go back.
Fellowship.
Oh, shit.
So the what?
Talk about fellowship.
What is
and
fellowship?
anti-Christ.
Oh, it was just like what is fellowship? What you think fellowship is?
What is fellowship?
Yeah, keywords. One was A, come in flesh. Jesus was human. You want to write down this passage so you can be able to go home and read it. So
Yeah, I use a pen. So
What is fellowship?
and then Pastor John Ward put his input. He said in Proverbs 29 verse 18, without vision our people will perish.
that's it.
Oh no, that's not what I said. The one is 1 John chapter 4, verse 2 through 8, verses 13 to 15.
Chapter who?
Chapter 2.
Chapter
I mean
2.
chapter 4.
Chapter 4,
Yeah,
verse 2 through 8.
yeah. And then verses 13 through 15. And that's what the lesson is from.
Oh, what y'all learned before I came in here?
I mean what we was going over. This was like when you came in, we was going over all this. I mean just not the beginning of it.
But then we asked, what is fellowship? So you can say, what is fellowship to you?
And everybody needs to jot this down because this is the memory verse that will be asked for next week, which is from 1 John chapter 5, verse 13. It says, I have written these things to you who believe in the name of the Son of God so that you may know that you have eternal life. 1 John chapter 5, verse 13. Okay, all right?
1 John 5 through 13.
3:13, John 3:13. Oh, that's like
See?
famous, so it's like
See, no, it's
5
5.
through 13.
1 John
1 John, and what you say?
5:13.
You say whoever believes in him.
I have written these things to you who believe in the name of the Son of the God, so that you may know that you have eternal life.
Ain't that John 3:16?
No.
That
No,
sounds
you
just
talking
like-
about the
They kind of sound.
yeah, no,
But
you
it's
talking
kind of the same in a way.
No.
Is it not the same?
no. It says,
Did you write it?
I have written these things to you who believe in the name of the Son of God, so that you may have. So you may know that you have eternal life, which would be everlasting. No, that's different.
So what do John 3:16
Write it down.
say?
said what did John 3:16? No, wait, no, look it up.
And what else?
Look it up. Have him look it up, Tyler.
You got the whole
Hold on,
Bible
you
in
said,
your lap.
you said.
No, find it, Tyler. You can't
Hold
ask.
on, repeat what you just said. Finish
So
it.
this-
Finish it. It was exactly
You
what you
better
just
make
said.
him find it. Do the whole Bible right there.
I don't even know what John is at.
What?
I know somebody named John. Oh,
That's
yeah.
John Word takes so late. You laughing at me to
Yeah,
realize.
mine just came.
This
I
what
was
he
like,
said.
Really? I was like,
He
John.
said, okay, this is what we was talking about. This your 5 minutes, Tyler. So this what we was
I was
talking
just saying
about.
it's similar to what you said. I'm not arguing anything, but it's pretty much the same thing. That whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. It's like eternal life, right?
Right,
Everlasting.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, so this what we was talking about when when Miss Trina said that we have to remove ourselves from the environment around people that we're around if we need to get stronger. So we can come back and be cordial or lead them to the way that we went the right way. He said Trina is right, but it doesn't mean that God won't send you back when you are able to help others get delivered from it. So just like me, I helped a lot of people get delivered from a lot of stuff that I went through, and I brought them here, and they came. One of my best friends was my sisters. She came to Christ, then she got her stuff together. She moved to Ohio, but she's moving back, and she will be back here in this church. Montisha.
Montisha?
Tish.
Wait,
No.
My
Montisha?
baby.
Montisha? Montisha?
I like that.
Montisha.
Everybody can
Oh,
change.
okay.
No.
I had to make sure.
You was in school. When you in school, you be disappeared from the house. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, graduated, man.
Okay, who wanna pray this out? Tyler, you was the last one, and you gotta pray.